Welcome back to another episode of the Pickle Pulse. I'm your host, Brian Green, and I am so happy and fortunate to be blessed with the one and only Christie Barker in the house.
Thank you for that introduction. I thought I was hosting today. I thought you're the star.
Well, you can fire questions anytime you want. So
okay, as long as it can go both ways.
We can just switch it. Yeah, it'll be good. So if you don't know Christie, I'm sorry, first of all. But Christie has been playing for as long as I have, probably longer, and we'll get into that. But she, when I was a meddling 4-0 trying to come up, she was winning 5-0 tournaments with guys like Gizmo and Jimbo, a guy named Dan Borelli. So she's been a top-level player for as far as I can remember. Probably she picked up a paddle when she was 5-0 is what I'm going to go with.
We can go with that story. I'm good with that story.
Right. And so she's 2022 bronze medalist in the U.S. Open. Congrats. And then came back 2023, and you said you got silver the following year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just great results. And really what I want to talk to is a little bit about Christie's story. Mm-hmm. I want to find out some of the things that have helped you become the player that you want to be, and then some kind of just fun stuff in between. Tangents.
Oh, yeah.
Tangents are always cool.
Absolutely. We got to go off on the tangents.
Yes. So
we're good. That's what makes it.
Also, I'm really excited. You as my listeners will know, but you're our first female guest. Let's go.
We are going to represent the women well today.
Yes.
So listen up.
And I'd like all the ladies out there to know that if you get invited to come do the podcast, I'm not scary. It's not, it is in my basement, but I have 3 daughters and a wife. They'll protect you from me.
It's great. And this is a beautiful setup. The valet people you had outside were wonderful. The hair and makeup people are great. This is a professional setup we've got here.
That's it. And the red carpet's coming soon.
Yes.
Or as Brad said yesterday when I was joking with him, he was like, I said, are you going to valet your wife out, Brad? He goes, yeah, and I'm going to sprinkle roses as she comes into the house. This would be lovely.
Right.
So I don't know if that's the vibe we want there.
Right. Yeah. No, that doesn't sound like Brad either.
No. Wow.
But way to help him out. Yeah. He's a good one, but he's not doing rose petals.
So chivalrous, Brad. Yes. I can give you some tips of what not to do.
He's good. He's good. Just not doing the rose petals.
Yes.
But we're good.
So I've been playing for 3.5, 4 years now. When did you pick up a paddle?
It would have been 2019.
Okay.
So I imagine a story very similar to the rest of us, most of us out there, where I had my parents get into pickleball and they said, you got to try it. You got to try it. And I'm rolling my eyes saying, I don't want to try this. I've got other stuff going on. Just try it. Just try it once. Okay, Mom and Dad, we'll try it once. I'll be the good daughter and I'll do what you're asking me to do. And on the way home, we're ordering our own paddles. I mean, that's how quick it was. Wow. And it was, let's do this. So I believe that was summer of 2019.
Okay.
And didn't really take it seriously then. I mean, that was, the wooden paddles I think a lot of us got started with. And then from there, I was able to see there's more to the paddle than just a wooden paddle. Got some equipment and took it a little bit more seriously, probably 2020 when COVID hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when the tournaments came in and it got a lot more fun after that.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun at first. It got really fun after that.
Now, I also like to know, do you have racket sport background? Was there a little cheat code coming in?
So a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I went to JMU and they had racquetball courts under the stadium there, the football stadium, some hidden courts. So if you went to JMU or go to JMU, check those out. I don't even know if they're still there, but a little bit of racquetball, nothing formal. But volleyball was my big background.
Okay.
Yeah. I played a lot of volleyball, first team all district, second team all region in high school. That's my, played some travel ball. But I was a setter.
Okay.
And I actually think that translates really nicely to the mixed game. Because as a setter, my job was to not run the show or do anything fancy. It was to make sure my partners or my teammates were set up.
Yep.
So I think that translates to mixed pickleball so nicely for me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely talk about you've been playing mixed, you've been playing ladies, and they are 2 different games.
They are.
And the interesting, how you transition back and forth between them is wild. And that I think on the mixed side, you're the setup gal. And I feel like you have the ability to be that power left and ladies who controlling the court, knocking people out.
Can I record you saying that? Because I need to believe that up here.
Yeah.
I haven't fully believed that for myself yet. I'm such a right-sided player, but man, I want to be powerful on the left.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get there one day.
I was watching you play last night. You were lighting guys up. It was good.
You must have caught a good moment. Yeah. No, I remember that play. That was a fun little poach there. Sorry, Lenny. But that was a fun little poach there in the middle. But
so let's talk a little bit about that, because I think when you come into mixed, number one, you're looking for a specific partner as a female, someone that will vibe with your game.
Yeah.
Someone probably that has a good attitude and isn't annoying. But what kind of stuff do you look for?
Yeah, I would say it's interesting because I think it's evolved for me over the years. And I was actually reflecting on that or have been reflecting on that a lot recently, of like who the person I'm looking for, how that's changed for me. When I first started, I just wanted somebody good that knows how to play ball.
Okay. And did you always wait for guys to come ask you out?
Yes. 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 Guys need to come and ask ask nicely and,
so
have a good sales pitch. Yeah. And I was always kind of the person that you say yes to whomever.
Okay.
Whoever asks first, that's who I'm going with. And now it's evolved for me that I think I am looking for more of a specific partner. For me, for a mixed partner, it would be somebody who is powerful and can put the ball away, and who is taking up, not all of the court. I'm not Anna Lee. I can't play with Ben Johns. I know that.
Yes.
But yeah, somebody who can take up a sizable amount of the court, and I call it letting me cook. Like, let me cook. And I don't cook well at home, but I can cook on the pickleball court a little bit. Meaning, like, it might take me a minute to get up to the kitchen, but I'll get there, and I want to get you the ball that can be put away. So for me, somebody who is a little bit patient on that side and will be willing to let me do some resets. Again, I know that I want to become a little bit more of a force. I want to get more powerful. And that's one of my goals for this year, is to be more aggressive myself, and not spend all day resetting to get back up there. But right now I like somebody who, if you let me cook, I can get you up there, and I want to get you that ball so you can put it away. And you touched on a good sport. I want a good sport next to me, like a good energy.
Yeah. And that's fair. I think everybody wants someone, like I've played with guys that are just real sour, and I've played with guys that, they'll lift you up even when you're messing up. And that's the kind of person you want to play with.
Yeah.
And
so I had a would you rather recently, would you rather play with this, or would you rather play with that? Would you rather play with somebody higher skill and poorer energy, or lower skill but great energy?
Wow. So what's the duper difference between the higher and the lower?
Okay,
yeah,
great.
right.
Okay.
So we gotta put this together here.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have to be too big. Not an extreme gap. Like a 4.75 and a 4.25. Which are you going with?
Gosh, I'm probably going to go against, but I think I'll take the extra 0.5 and bad attitude.
Okay. You'll weather the storm.
Guys are just so good these days.
The guys are so good.
And as a guy looking for men's partners who are better and better and better, and who can help me, because I haven't figured out whether I want to be a left side or a right side guy.
I got you. Okay.
I know I don't love dinking on the right side, but if I have a guy that's a 5'2" or a 5'3", who's that, I'm a 4'7" right now. I would love to put that guy on the left. As a matter of fact, this weekend we're going to test it out. I've got Gage playing with me.
Gage is awesome.
He's really good.
And you're awesome too. That's going to be a strong team.
Yeah. So you put him on the left, see how we do, let him do his fun stuff. And I want to play your role of trying to just set up to hit some good drives and create for him, because he likes to poach.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be able to get to the kitchen line and just play from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I would take the shitty attitude with the better player. Isn't that awful?
Right? You weather the storm. Well, I think it speaks to your competitiveness. Like, we want to get out there and we want to win.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff you can just shrug off some stuff. Yeah.
For sure.
It's okay.
For sure. What's your take on it?
Oh, that's a tough one for me.
Because when you get a 0.5 duper, that's a big. If you said 0.25, then I probably would have got better attitude, right?
Yeah.
Because that guy's not going to take over and change the game. But
no, I want to win.
Yeah. So we're on the same page. But as we say, it's so important to have a good attitude for us.
Yeah, right. No, it is. But yeah, I think that chemistry on the court is so important too. So like, I used to say yes to everybody. Whoever asked first, that's who I'm going to play with. And it's getting to be more, like an aggressive person who's going to step over a little bit, going to put the ball away. But most importantly, that chemistry, that it combines a good attitude with, I think, the flow of the game. I've noticed that there's some people where I'll go out and I'll just play. I'll play really crappy, and I'm like, what is happening? And it's just a different style.
Yeah.
And the person that I'm standing next to most of the time is better than me. So it's not a knock on their skill level. They're able to play really well. It's just a different style than I'm used to.
So that speaks to there are two different styles right now in mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And one is you have a left side guy who's going to jump over and take all the thirds and just scream drives at the girl.
Yeah.
Typically, and try to create pop-ups and chaos. And then the other is, and we've played mix before. It's awesome.
It is fun.
and you said, hey, let me take the thirds. I'll get us to the line and let's go from there. And that makes a lot of sense as long as your drives aren't excellent. Right?
Right.
I feel like in my world, you know, because you know me, I like to hit the ball hard. I like to create a little chaos. I think it helps my style of play. And
it's so effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but only if they're good. And there are days where you're hitting thirds in the net and they're a little high and it's screwing your team up. And then I have to be able to mentally step back and go, all right, Christie, you got to help me.
Yeah.
Let's get to the line.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you're playing mixed, are you looking for that guy who hits a lot of drives, or do you like to just get to the line and try to win the points there?
Yeah. I think I like to do what's making sense that day, because there are days that my drops are, oh my gosh, I've been in games where I'm like, I can't hit a drop, and you don't want me to start driving because I'm not really skilled at that. Like you want me to be able to drop, so you take the drops and let's get us up there. But if I'm playing next to somebody where they're, and I think that goes for women's too, and gender doubles of. If what you're hitting is working, like if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like let's go. Yeah. Do what works and get us up there. But yeah, I definitely, if it was up to me and everything's working on that day, I think I would like the guy to be powerful and create some chaos, and get up there with them. And then sometimes it's nice to hit a nice little drop and have somebody go up there and put it away.
You're surprising me right now, Christie.
Yeah.
I did not think that's what you were going to say. I thought you were like, let's go win at the kitchen line. But chaos is fun.
Chaos is fun. It's getting more fun for me.
Yeah.
I'm not good at the chaos, so I tend to back off from it. But like when it's working well, and if my partner's creating trouble up there, keep creating trouble. Light them up.
Well, and as a person who watches a ton of pickleball, it is more fun to watch for the viewer as well.
Yeah,
and I think that's why the PPA Tour is trying to go to a little softer ball.
Yeah,
and really just changing things up, because the men's doubles game right now is the guys are so strong that they're dropping, dinking at the kitchen line and waiting for opportunities. And for a person who doesn't understand pickleball, it's not that interesting to them.
That's true.
I'm like, oh, did you see how he did a backhand dink and just pulled him out wide? And then,
Look at that dinking.
Yes. The normal person watching is going, that looks lame.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that, because as I've reflected on my games and watching other people's games, watching PPA, pickleball is getting so big.
Yes.
So there's so much to watch out there. And I have really, I like my style of patience and let's get up to the kitchen, but that's not the direction the game's going.
No.
The game is going a different direction. So we got to catch up. People like me, we need to catch up that other way.
Yeah.
And the paddles are getting harder and flying faster. I mean, there's been moments on the court where I'm like, I'm scared to face that person. Right now for me, that's Dylan. Wherever you are, Dylan.
Dylan Godwin?
Dylan Godwin. I don't know what's on his paddle, but like that, and he's got a nasty serve. He serves really deep, so makes a return really tricky, and then he's just firing off. I'm like, okay, I'm watching you with that.
Yep.
Yeah. And his paddle's perfectly legal. I think it's all fine, but it just speaks to the pace of the game.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that the balls are going to be a little bit softer.
Yeah, so, well, number one, Dylan's been playing he hasn't been playing with the gearbox. I mean, he's 20-something and he hits the ball hard, so that makes sense. So maybe he's just like, the athleticness allows him to come after things. Yeah. But I would agree, there are some paddles out there that I played with Petter last night.
Yes,
from Arlington, AIP crew, and man, he was already really good, and to put that gearbox in his hand, now his putaways are so tough, and also his drives are coming at rocket speed.
So let me tell you the trick.
Okay.
You just put Peter on your team.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just be on the same side of court with him and you'll be okay.
All right, Petter, do you hear that? Christie is giving me a pat on the back saying, yes, come on over. Let's play.
No, right. So I played with him last night and I found myself thinking that same thing. Like, I'm really glad this guy is on my side of the court because that ball was coming quick off his paddle.
Yeah. And with these new paddles that came out, we'll see if they're going to be legal 6 months from now.
Yeah.
But anything that floats high is getting put away. And it's remarkable how hard the ball comes off that paddle without a lot of swing to it.
I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, I can do my old fogey thing and go, I don't like it because I can't keep up. But at the same time, I want pickleball to grow, and I want whatever looks the most exciting for people to not think it's an old person sport.
That's true.
Because I don't think it's an old person sport anymore. I think it was.
It's
Yeah.
Maybe when we started, but not anymore.
No.
And I agree with you. I'm glad the more people we can get to look at the sport and say that looks really cool, and I want to try it, and I want to pick up a paddle, the better it is for the sport. Like, let's grow this thing.
When I just had a conversation with my buddy who's down in Virginia Beach, just signed up for the Virginia Beach PPA.
Okay.
So if you want to test your skills, come on out. I'm playing 4-5, 35 plus mixed and men's, as well as some singles. We'll see how I do in the singles.
That'd be awesome. Is singles new for you?
Well, I've been playing since the beginning, but I don't play it as much. I love it, and my unathleticness at times holds me back. So covering the court and then the stamina, because I've gone deep. Like I played Orlando PPA 4.0 like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Did really well. Ended up losing to the guy who got first and third.
Okay.
But I think I finished like 7th or 8th. It wasn't bad. But at the end of the day, I was so tired. It was annoying that I would have liked to play half of it one day and then the other half the next day.
Yeah,
and I felt like I would have done better, because once my legs are gone, it's just everything else falls apart.
Yeah. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love singles. I love that I don't let anyone down. I love that I like to hit passing shots, as you know. And so like I'm not going to play that cat and mouse game.
I bet that favors your drive.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer? You prefer the singles or you prefer doubles?
It's a good question. I think I prefer doubles just because of the thoughtfulness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I think singles is more about your athletic prowess.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
Doubles is more about how is your pickleball IQ and your ability to play the game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because
and that strategy in it is again, so we talk about the evolution of it. When I first started out, I just want to play with somebody good and we don't have any strategy. We're just hitting the ball out here. You know, fast forward to today where I'm like, okay, patterns, and okay, this happens when I do this. And that's where they scored a point. So I need to the strategy of doubles.
So I get a lot of people that walk up to me that are like 3-0, 3-5, 4-0 in the last couple of weeks. And they're like, hey, could you do something for us? You know, what are you think? And I like to ask this question because I think everyone has a little different take. Frankie blew me away with what he said to this question. But what's your take for that 3-5, 4-0 person? What should the two things they should work on most to get to the 4-5 level?
Good question. So I feel like you've got to have the drop shot. I'm biased, but I love the drops. I love the resets. So yes, the drop, the reset, making sure that you can get yourself up there. I'm not sure what a second one would be. I do think drilling is a big part of it, drilling in general, making sure you have a wide variety of shots. I think playing up is a big deal. Like, I think we get better by playing people better than us. And I feel bad for those people who are better than me, because I'm always like, hey, can I play? And they're probably thinking like, the way I'm going to get better is playing people better than me. But you know, it is what it is.
It's the constant pickleball struggle is like, how do you get into the next group?
Yes, exactly. Yes. But yeah, taking those opportunities to play, you know, and don't be afraid of losing. When you're playing rec play and open play, you need to lose some and take some notes and go back to the drawing board. So I think having the drop and the reset is vital, but then also spend some time drilling and playing up. Yeah.
No, I think that's really sound advice. Simply because when you do play up, the ball is just moving faster. And while the ball is moving faster, if you don't have the ability to slow down and think, then the game is really tough. But the more you do it, the better you get it at that. And I think it's really smart. And then, I would agree. Drops. You're not going to power through like it's just, I don't play a lot of lower level games anymore, simply because guys are just trying to hit through you and you hit it back harder. It's short points. It's not as fun.
Exactly. Yep. We want the good point construction. Another thing that I think is helpful is recording games. Record your rec matches or your tournament matches and watch them back and sit through the cringe moments.
Yes.
We all like the highlight reels that we're putting up there. Yes, we really like the Instagram stories and the whatnot, and I'm guilty of that as well. I'll like looking through it. Oh, look, I had that one good play right there. But really watching the cringe moments, it's worth it, even if it sucks.
I would totally.
Oh my gosh, yes. I walked away from the last tournament with more cringe moments than good moments, which is information for myself. But it was really helpful to see, okay, let's look at this and see what I can do differently.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about mixed. Let's talk about gender doubles.
Yeah.
And like, what's your mindset when you're rolling in? And obviously your partner. All right, let's just talk about Christina.
Yeah.
Because I know you play with her a good bit, and she's a powerhouse.
She is a powerhouse.
She hits it harder than I do. I need to start lifting.
Right. No, she's great.
So you're walking into a tournament with Christina. Like, what's your mindset like there?
Absolutely. So she and I have talked before, and one of the things she needs from me is consistent Christie. And that's both with my resets and my dinking and my drops, but also just kind of my level head, keeping my cool. And she said that before. It's been a while, but she's like, I need my consistent Christie. Yes. Like, bring her out right now.
And I guess for the listeners who don't know who Christina Shiflett is, I should probably fill you in. She plays out of Richmond. She works at the new facility down there, is a pro player.
Yes.
And she hits the ball so hard. I would say her game is very well rounded, but when I first met her and have played with her, it's like drive first, drop later.
It is. Hold on tight.
Yes, exactly.
She's great. And she herself is a very decorated player. She's collected a lot of medals throughout the year. I mean, I think one of her best showings last year was Yola. She walked away with gold at Yola last year with LJ, Jonathan Trong.
Oh, nice.
And it was a great showing. The two of them, I mean, LJ played lights out, and Christina really had a great right-sided roll in that day. Like, she has this backhand flick that's so nasty.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, getting a little off topic, but when I went into when I go into a tournament with Christina, I know that she's looking for me to be steady and consistent, and I'm looking to her to put the ball away. So it is actually kind of mixed in a way. It's just with Christina playing that more dominant role. I know. One of the things that I have voiced to her is I want to be more aggressive. And so she's trying to help me with that too. There'll be times in the middle of the match, she's like, just swing, just do it.
Yeah, that's right. It's okay if you miss.
It's okay if you miss. We'll be all right. So what's interesting is I have become more of a right-sided player, not only in mixed, but also in women's. And I think it's really necessary for me at this point in my career, for women who are wanting to elevate, to get good at both. And when I step on the left side, my confidence instantly is a little shaky. So that is information for me that's something that I really want to work on and get better at. Pulling the trigger more. So
yeah.
No, but I treat it a little bit like mixed. Like we've got one person who's like more patient and one person who's more aggressive. Interestingly, I will say, and I'm sorry to bring this up, Monica and Sarah, but
all right. Call them out right here.
I'm calling them out. I maybe played one of the better games that I've ever played in my life against Monica and Sarah. Wow. Last week, and Christina and I were actually lucky enough to take a game off them.
Wow.
And I say that with the most respect for Sarah and Monica. We all know that they are like two of the best women's players in this area.
Oh, I would say in like this area, Maryland,
yes,
New Jersey,
exactly.
North Carolina. I mean, they're top on the East Coast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we actually took a game off them, and I spent time talking with Sarah afterwards, and she said, I think it worked for you because you were both aggressive. And she's like, that's, most of the day we saw a women's team with one aggressive person, one softer person. Mm-hmm. You two both came out swinging that game, and that made a difference. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to replicate this.
But I would say those two excel because they're both super aggressive.
Yes.
I mean, like Monica, both of them hit the ball really hard. They cover the middle. It's like, yeah.
And so consistent. They are both so steady.
So you guys actually went after them versus going, let's get to the line and make them dink
Correct.
And see what happens.
Correct. We try to make stuff happen.
Did you see something there where you're like, all right, if we get to the line, we're probably going to lose because they're going to do a bunch of random stuff? Was it thoughtful that we're going to create chaos going into the match?
No, actually, I don't think it was. I think I went in knowing that we were the underdogs, especially me being the underdogs, because I look at the three of them as the more aggressive ones and me more the passive ones. So I went in thinking we're the underdogs here. player. And I'm a much softer player, and it's going to be hard to reset the stuff that's going to come back because it's going to be so powerful. So I think maybe I had the mindset of just do it. You're the underdog anyways.
Yeah,
so
you got nothing to lose.
We got nothing to lose here, and let's do what we can. And it was really good. I have, like I said, so much respect for them. They are stellar players too, the best. And so to be able to walk away and say, I got one.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I got a game off of them. They ended up winning the match. Of course, they went on to win gold, as they should. But that was just really exciting. And it showed me that I'm capable of doing something a little bit different. And if I get in the lab and maybe drill this a little more, maybe it could become more consistent for me. Yeah.
I also, through the grapevine and just through knowing you for a couple of years, you have a very close relationship with the Trongs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
And I know that Brad, this is hilarious, took LJ and Alex, I believe, out to work with him, working on chimneys.
Yes. Plug for Advanced Chimney Consultants if you need your chimney cleaned. Give us a call.
They rock.
Absolutely.
And that's Brad's business. He's the man. Does he travel all around with that?
All around.
Okay,
yeah.
so
He'll
it's
even
not
go
just
into
like out
Maryland.
in your area. Okay.
No, he'll come. He's in the Northern Virginia area quite frequently, in DC and Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, he works so hard, and he does good work, and yeah, you want him to take care of you.
Yeah, I will never forget. Brad was nice enough to fill in. My partner bailed on me for the New Jersey Open like a year and a half ago. And I was like, Brad, I've already paid for the hotel room. Just come up and play. And we had a great time. We actually played quite well. We ended up losing to 2 next gen guys.
Oh gosh.
In the 4-5, well, we were supposed to play 35 plus. We ended up playing 19-year-olds because they combined it all together. But I had a blast. But no, Brad's phone was blowing up the whole time because it was like the time of year where you got to get your chimney looked at.
Yeah, it's chimney season. Come on.
And I laughed at him, and he's like writing it all in this pad. And I was like, dude, get an iPad. You can share it with your whole team. But I think he's upgraded since then. So
yeah, he's doing well. He's doing good, and he does such good work, and he cares about people so much. So
big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. But the Trongs, yes, he did have, I think, both LJ and Alex out on a chimney van.
Yes.
Yep. At some point.
And was this in like, I want to call it a summer camp you guys are doing for them, but it wasn't a summer camp because but you called it like your Barker summer camp.
Barker boot camp.
Yes,
come on.
Let's go.
You're going to Barker boot camp, and we're going to wake up early, and you're going to go on the chimney van with Brad, and you're going to have a good day and learn some good work ethic. So yes, we did Barker boot camp. We had Alex for a week, and then LJ, I think, came the week after or something like that.
Play pickleball every day and try to have some fun.
Yes, and as we were teaching you work ethic, then yes, you can teach us stuff on the pickleball court. So it was mutually beneficial.
That's amazing.
But yeah, we had a blast, and it's been so cool. We do have a special place in our hearts for the whole family. John and V are wonderful too. But just to watch their journey, oh my gosh,
so amazing.
They're killing it. And I'm so excited for LJ, who's like recently stepping his toe into these pro events. Like it just this weekend did the pro qualifier and had a really good showing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that. And I was really sad because I had played him a couple of years ago. And I think he took a step back just to kind of hang out and be a teenager, which I get.
Yeah,
I totally get.
I get
but
it.
at the same time, you got so much talent and skill. So I'm really glad to see him back.
Yeah.
And I think he's got really good things in his future. And we know Alex is killing it.
Alex is killing it, and yeah, she's really representing pickleball well. She's representing our area well, and LJ has great potential, and he's only going to keep rising. His name is getting said more and more, and I hope he gets the recognition he deserves because he's working hard for it.
Well, he's a legacy at this point for APP, so he's got to get in there.
He has to, right? They'll just got to take him in.
All right, so how much pro pickleball do you watch?
I watch quite a bit to where nobody's listening to this, but on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays when we've got APP and PPA, I have my phone, my tablet, and a TV. I'm sure people have similar setups, but that's what it is for me on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That I still do work. Don't worry.
Yeah, well,
I work.
I actually multitask too. I put my iPad over here, and I've got my computer here. I do some work, and then but I've got it. I'm watching.
Right.
Because I want to know what's going on. Yeah. So what was your take? Did you see Jack Sock play this past weekend?
Oh my gosh. I'm a total Jack Sock fan
Me
now.
too.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm totally fangirl. Another topic, because I play with people younger than me, Monica, Sarah, the people out there. I've started to learn the young people lingo. I haven't learned everything yet.
Okay.
But me in my late 30s, I'm having to learn from the younger people. So I've heard you get high on them. Like, I'm high on Jack Sock. That's the phrase now. I'm just letting you know.
Nice. Well, I forget what my daughters always say something about Riz. And
yeah. What the heck is
they're like, Dad, you have Riz. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay. Thank you.
Right. I was playing a game recently with James Broker, another shot. Like, James Broker is awesome. And during the game, he said, I'm selling this game so hard. And I just put it in my brain and kind of tucked it away. And like days later, I was like, what did you mean? What did you mean when you said you were selling this game so hard? He's like, it was like I was giving away for free. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
You're like messing up giving away for free.
Oh, okay. I'm following now. And by the way, if you know what Riz means, hit me in the comments so you can fill me in on what the hell's going on.
Right.
Because all my girls just laugh at me. They won't let me know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've heard multiple takes on it. I don't like one or two of them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I love it. But yeah, so like I bring up that because you talk about Jack Sock, and I am high on Jack Sock. I'm like all about some Jack Sock. I thought it was so cool what he did. He
has this ability to be so fast on the court that he runs around his backhand.
Yeah.
And in doubles, I mean, definitely it's effective in singles, but he even does it in doubles and at the kitchen line. And so my question is, that's eventually got to catch up to him, right?
Yeah.
He's leaving too much of a hole in the doubles world.
Yeah, I think so. And he has not faced Ben Johns and Anna Lee yet. I don't think he faced, I might be remembering incorrectly, but I don't think he faced James and Anna. Anna Bright.
No, he lost to, who was Riley playing with this weekend? I think he lost
Kawamoto.
Okay, yeah, I think he lost to those guys.
Yeah,
I believe. But
so I would be curious to see as he progresses, is that going to get taken advantage of?
How cool is it though that a guy with his athletic ability, his talent, can come into pickleball? And I know he's been playing for a long time. I've heard through the grapevine he's been playing for like 7-8 years just for fun.
That's pretty cool.
Put 6-8 quality months of training in and come out. And I think in singles he's already a top 10 player.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat I believe Connor Garnett.
Yeah.
That's a sick win.
Yes, that's huge. He like you said, his athletic ability, how quickly he can cover the court, and the precision of his shots is so stellar. He's going to go far. I mean, to make it, what did he make it to the quarterfinals or something? Yeah. In singles?
Yeah, no, he got bronze because Kwon Dong pulled out. He had to leave.
But that's for your first single showing. Come on.
That's sick.
That's natural ability right there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he may be playing behind the scenes or longer than we have known, but that speaks to some natural skill too. For
sure. So on the flip side of that, how about Jeannie Bouchard?
Oh, yes. I didn't watch many of her matches.
You didn't miss much other than a good laugh fest.
I feel like I saw some pickleball memes.
Wow. Yes. And again, another plug for pickleball memes. But yeah, if you're not following them on Instagram, holy cow. They put out some really funny stuff.
God, I love the internet. But so creative.
Jeannie Bouchard, she's a pretty girl. She's a very talented tennis player.
Yeah.
What made her think she could just show up and play in a pro pickleball tournament?
Yeah. And I mean, there's something to be said for, I don't know, tournament nerves or venues, not knowing things, but like that's what came across to me.
Yeah.
Was there not much preparation here? Who knows?
Yeah, no, it didn't look like it. She made some pretty rookie mistakes. And I think Tyler Lung was being pretty cool. Like Riley Newman would have thrown something at her.
Right.
But I think he knew he was giving away the tournament anyway to just play with her in that regard. I hope she puts in some time and comes back. But at this point, like, I don't know. It's almost offensive to me as a pickle nerd for her to come out and just say, I'm going to play in a pro event and get paid. Yeah. And she has a contract and the whole deal. It's like, yeah, okay. She has a shitload of Instagram viewers. Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah. I was kind of curious about that with the PPA contracts that went out, and they seem to get sent out to a lot of different people and that weren't as well known. And you've got people, like you're saying, working behind the scenes, for years trying to perfect the craft, and people coming over from tennis thinking they can just convert really quickly.
Well, and the PPA taking those names and putting them ahead in the draw so that they get TV time and putting guys that have put in the work, that just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, definitely not cool.
Yeah. On the flip side, I mean, do you think it's growing the sport? I mean, you've got then tennis followers who are going to come take a quicker look maybe at pickleball if they haven't already. Who knows?
I would say yes, but I would also say no. And I think pickle is growing itself right
true.
now. There's between the drama, which is super exciting.
Right. Oh, we love the tea.
Yes.
Right.
To like guys that have never thought about playing a racket sport, but see how much their friends are playing. Like I said, I was talking to my friend down in Virginia Beach, and he's an EOD guy, like elite special forces. And he's like, man, I kind of want to try this pickleball thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought it was lame, but he's listened to a couple of the pods and he knows how much I like it. And he's like, when you come down, let's hit around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I like the intrigue.
Yeah.
And the more people that we get intrigued, you know how it is. You show up, you can actually play, unlike tennis where you're chasing the ball the whole time. And you hit the ball back and forth and you go, wow. As Danny Rouillet said, I do this now.
Right.
This is like
I'm
so
hooked.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. And it is, I also think, you're not chasing the ball. Like you said, you don't need lessons for years as well, which is a big piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
although it helps to take lessons. It does help.
It does.
But you don't need it.
If you want to get better, I can recommend some people who are fantastic out there as well. We know a lot of PPA certified people that we get to play with.
Yes.
And they're fantastic. Some are better teachers for higher level people. Some are better for lower level, but we can definitely connect you guys.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
So going back to the PPA, just paying a bunch of tennis players to come over. 6 months ago, was it 6 months when the coup happened? It was like July-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It seemed like the PPA was like desperate.
Yes.
And so therefore they're throwing it out to everyone, just trying to have players, because MLP had come in and signed all these players. And now everything is flipped around. The PPA seems to be back in charge again.
Yeah.
They're really beating up on all the MLP players, asking them to take pay cuts while the PPA signed players have not. And now, just a day ago, all of the talks have kind of fallen apart for this merger again, and they're pushing back the draft for MLP.
I didn't even hear about that yet.
Yes. Yes. So as a pickleball fan, I'm a little concerned as to what the landscape of pro pickleball is going to look like soon.
Yeah.
When we're going to get our first MLPs, who's going to be playing in them. But at the same time, it's causing me to not be a huge Connor Pardo fan.
Yeah.
It seems like every time he gets the upper hand, he wants to go after throats and take over the pickle landscape. Do you get the same feeling?
So I haven't followed it as much. I'm kind of naive when it comes to that. I know that there's drama. I don't know the specifics of the drama. But I do, like, the thing that I do see, like we're saying, is that you're seeing more tennis people come in, or people that we don't know as well come in, and not play the game like we like it to be played. I don't know. I struggle with that part. I'm not as well versed in that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm just really, like, I want the sport to continue to grow. I want to put the best foot forward, and I feel like you have to pay the players so that they can train year round to get the product better. That's and then also be helpful to the up and coming players, because right now in pro pickleball, there is that upper elite, that 6.5 to 7.0 crew, which is like 20 players, men and women on both sides. But then there's a lot of people who I think have the ability to challenge them, but they have day jobs, and
Darn
you know, they're trying to figure it out. And now I will say that the progressive draw this past weekend, I really enjoyed, to be able to see everyone kind of play. But at the same time, the back half of that is that you're having to spend a week at a tournament each time for pro qualifiers, and then get in for the younger people. So I'm hoping there's some sort of solution to all this in the end.
It is looking different. The thing that I think we're headed towards is rally scoring, which I'm really curious about too. I don't know how I feel about it, but I just think we're headed that way.
Have you played a tournament yet?
I have played not a tournament. I've done some rec games with it, and I did one like exhibition type match with it. So on a very minimal level, and that one exhibition match was a fun time to try it out, because there was a little bit more pressure with that. It's okay.
Yeah.
I tend to be the person that orders the same thing every time at a restaurant, so I don't really like the change, but sure. I mean, I see the appeal in it. I don't know.
No, I think that people that have been playing 3, 4, 5+ years who are used to traditional side out scoring and the traditional way of pickleball are going to really struggle with it in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think the players that are coming in a year, 6 months under, will embrace it quickly.
Yeah.
Simply, I'm going to make some non-fans out there, but I think rally scoring is better than side out scoring.
Yeah.
And the reason being is you can choose your side. You can be a right or a left side specialist.
That's big.
Which is good, and it takes unwinding the stack out. It allows the game to be much more controlled when it comes to time. You know,
That's
because
true.
inside out, you could have 0-0 for 25 minutes,
That's
technically.
true.
So to be able to schedule tournaments. And then also, I think that it just makes every match a little tighter.
Yeah.
And so that's fun for TV watching.
Yeah, I can see that. When I have watched the rally scoring, when I've watched MLP, I've thoroughly enjoyed, like you're saying, the tightness of the match. You truly don't know which way it's going to go, and it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
So I definitely see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
My bold prediction for this pod will be that by the end of, what are we in, 2024? By the let's go bowl. By the end of 2024, we're going over to rally scoring.
Oh, okay. So you think it'll be soon? Like I said, I do think we're headed that direction. I don't know if it'll be by the end of 2024. I'll say 2025.
I don't think PPA will be rally scoring.
Okay.
Because Ben Johns doesn't want that, and he gets what he wants there.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, like traditionals tournaments that you and I are playing in, amateurs going to rally scoring.
Okay.
Bold prediction.
All right. I like it. I'm here for it. You know what? At the end of the day, we're still playing pickleball, so I'll enjoy that if that's what it is.
Winning.
There you go. Right. I'm good with it. I love it.
Further speaking of new things and changes.
Yes.
Did you see the new serve rule?
So I've heard of the new serve rule.
Okay.
I saw Ben Johns get called for a faulty serve.
So bad.
So and explain it to me, because I have not read it on paper. I understand there can be no tossing of the ball, no any direction.
Correct.
You literally have
your hand has to start facing down.
Okay.
You start at your waist and you drop the ball.
Okay.
All right. There's no movement going up there, and essentially you drop the ball and you hit it.
Okay.
The issue with that is it takes all the coolness out of the serve, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that you're really dropping it and just trying to hit it as fast as possible, because there's only 2.5 feet to the ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You were one of the people that liked the spin serve, aren't you?
I enjoyed my chainsaw serve. It was pretty good.
I think I vaguely remember your spin serve. I remember not liking receiving that.
No,
so
it
I got you.
pretty
You were
hard.
one of those. Yeah.
But to be honest, I was happy to see that go away after playing some guys whose spin serves were like 7 times better than mine.
There were some nasty ones out there.
Yeah.
I did not. I struggled with that.
Well, and that dramatically changed the game. I think the current big serves are not dramatically changing the game.
Right.
To the point where you need to have some lame rule that makes it, again, I want to make it look cool.
Yeah.
To the 20-year-olds, the 15-year-olds out there. A lot of people are saying go to a drop serve. It doesn't look cool.
Yeah. I think it's easier for referees.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that takes the guesswork out of it, if something's legal or not.
But my take on this is that the serve isn't so overpowering currently that it dramatically changes the outset of the game.
I agree with that.
And so let's not mess with it until that happens.
Yeah.
And then have there are the offenders out there, the Deckle Bars, the Tyson McGuffins of the world who really push the envelope, the Leah Jansen's, I guess, on the girls' side, although hers doesn't look very illegal to me. So watch those guys, and if they're doing, call them on it. But the fact that the PPA, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but when they saw it, they called it a fault, and you lose your serve.
You do lose your serve.
And I think that was part of Ben losing to Kwang Dong in the first, is that I think he got called 3 times on it.
Yeah. And that messes with your head after a while, getting called so repeatedly. And I saw, granted, of course, I'm not there. We're not there. We don't know what's exchanged between him and the refs, but he did approach the refs, and he was up there, 20, 30 seconds of trying to negotiate or talk with them about what was going on. So that gets in your head. It does change the game.
If I were him, I would have had steam shooting out of my ears like are you kidding me?
Right. Well, especially somebody so technically sound. And I think, he plays the game with integrity. I mean, he's somebody who knows the rules, follows the rules. Like, he's a very fair line caller. Like, Ben Johns isn't the person we're worried about with serving, right?
No. So, although people have been complaining about his serve, but look, get your serve better. Be better.
There you go. Return better. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Let's go.
Don't hate the player.
No. But the way that this last tournament was run and the way that the calls happen, it's almost like in the NFL, the referees taking over at the end of the game and calling stupid penalties and progressing. And I know we had some of that this year in the NFL, and it really fired people up. So this is me getting fired up. PPA.
Watch out.
Don't change any of the serve rules.
Brian's mad. Love it.
Like they care.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen you upset.
Occasionally. I've had one or two meltdown moments.
Oh,
that's always a fun one. Yeah.
Have you done a paddle throw?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've all been there. I've done a paddle throw. And I'm known for being pretty cool, calm, collected, but I've done a paddle throw.
I'm very surprised to hear that. Yes, because I would not have put you on that.
Oh, yeah. No, it was last year. It was recent.
Oh, yeah.
Within the last year. Oh, yeah. And a beautiful engaged paddle. No. It was gorgeous.
Well, that's why I don't do it anymore, because the paddles are so expensive. I'm like, oh, I really wish I could.
Yeah.
It's like I want to have a bad one to the side. I can just break over my knee.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad idea. I actually hung on to that paddle, but I should keep it in my bag just in case. Not a fan of paddle throwing. It was definitely a dramatic moment of an overreaction to what was going on. But yeah, no, I'm not proud of that moment, but I do have one in my history.
Yeah. Well, I've had a couple of sulking Eeyore moments on the court where I'm just like so upset that I can't continue the game, and I'm not proud of those either. But
we all have them.
It speaks to your competitiveness,
right?
Or at least that's a positive spin on it.
I'll take the spin. Yeah.
So the other reason that I'm a huge fanboy of Jack Sock too, by the way, to change it is the smack talk.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the loudness, the smack talk on the court, off the court, fans being able to yell, like the MLP environment versus the PPA and the tennis environment?
Yeah. I like the energy. I also say that as somebody who is I am sometimes guilty of letting things get to me during the match. Like sometimes if somebody's yelling, Rachel Barrick, for instance, Rachel yells and I love it. Yeah. And she needs it because it fires her up.
Dude, she's ferocious.
Yeah, she's ferocious and she plays better when she's doing it. She needs it, and I respect that about her because she's getting herself in the game and she's competitive and she wants to win, and yeah. And so I was playing against her recently at the most recent Legends tournament. And I did something well after she had been yelling, and I yelled and I said, I can yell too. And it was completely friendly, and we walk off the court and we're friends afterwards, and it was lovely. And that's the way it should be, I think. Like I am okay with emotion and heat of the moment. I'm okay with people yelling on the sides and stuff like that. But I know that there have been times, I say this, I know in my past I've been upset with that same behavior, and it's only speaking to me being my own feels about stuff. Like you said earlier, do better, if I don't like it, do better. And then we can change the course of the game that way. I think it's a level of, competitiveness, just part of the game. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so I also have had similar situations in that, at one point, I was so loud and obnoxious that I looked at J.W. Johnson's game and I said, he's so calm, he's so cool and collected, he shows no emotion. I'm going there.
Yeah.
And so I've tried to embrace that. And like, you hit a bad shot.
Yeah.
And I just want to walk away. No, next shot, whatever it is. But I've found that me suppressing that is not helpful.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm just angry.
Yeah.
And I'll mess up the next one, and then it just snowballs from there. Whereas, when I let it out, I feel like I have pickleball Tourette's at times.
Yeah. I said the same thing. It's funny you say that. Yep. I can relate.
And for some reason, letting it out helps a little bit for me. But I can remember playing the Pickleballer Open this time last year with G, and we're playing against Jason Renner. I think that's his name. And some, I don't know who the other guy was, but, I'll never forget. We beat him in the first game. Was psyched. I'm like, because I knew who he was. He's a good player.
He's a great player.
He's a very good player. And so we got him. We changed sides, and we get up like 4-5-1, 4-5-0. And all of a sudden, he rips a couple of drives, and they start scoring. And have you watched him play? He gets loud.
Yeah, he does get loud.
He starts screaming. He's grunting. I mean, like ferociously staring us down.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm going, oh shit.
Right. Ooh.
And like, I just let this guy in my head. They end up coming back and winning the second game.
Yeah.
And then we battled in the third game, but he's still doing this like whole hype thing.
Yeah.
And they squeak it out in the end, throw us into the back draw. Now, and end of the tournament, our friends, Austin and who he was playing with Rumi, beat them in the after they got knocked to the back draw, and then we got to play Austin and Rumi for bronze medal and beat them. So that was a good tournament for us, even though that one match was like meh. But I think if you can embrace that, you can use it to your advantage.
You can. It's a psychological part of the game. There have been moments. I remember early on there was one girl that I played, I don't remember her name, but she was yelling on the court, and it totally took me out of my game, and I went way south. It went a bad direction. And I said, you know what? Life lesson for me. Like, I can't be mad at her for doing something, whatever comes natural to her. If that's her way to be competitive, she should do it. And that was just my life lesson of like, it doesn't matter what's happening on the other side of the court. I got to learn to keep my composure regardless. So that was a good lesson for me. And then as my game evolved, you know, I love letting out a let's go and a good high five or something, or I'll do my fist pump when I get a good lob, because that's I get a lob. I can let's go. And then in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want to offend anybody, but you know, when I walk off the court, I don't want to be, you know, that person. I want to be, you know, the approachable one, the nice one that people can come talk to. But when I'm on the court, you know, I have no problem letting out a let's go now. Yeah.
Well, the good news is everyone knows that you're approachable and nice. You've always been so cool. One last story before we kind of finish things up a little bit, but I'll never forget something kind that you did. And this was, I'd say maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. We hadn't played a lot at that point because you were just beyond me. And but I knew of you, and we had seen each other, and you knew who I was. But I hit you up on Facebook Messenger. I didn't even have your number at the time, and I'm like, yo, so Chrissy Cahill and I are looking to play some mixed, and you think you and Brad would play with it? And when you said yes, it was like, I was so excited because wow, we get some top level mixed to play, because you and Brad were just at that time. I was like, man, you guys are just awesome.
I appreciate that.
And to have Chrissy and I come out and play on your courts and have a great day of pickleball is something I won't forget.
Yeah. Well, that was fun for us. I remember that day too. That was fun for us as well. Yeah. Yeah. No, I enjoyed that.
And just to be able to come out and play with better players and feel like you hung in the end, because I don't feel like we really sucked.
No, it was
really
competitive day.
Us.
Yes, I absolutely remember that day.
It helped the mindset, and it really speaks to what you had said in the beginning, is find better players, try to play with them, because just that tiny little bit of belief crept into me and said, okay, let's start playing 4-5. Let's start playing a little higher. Because Brad looked at me that day and he's like, you're playing 4-5. No more 4-0. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah.
And yes, man. Yeah. And look at you. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
So just fun stuff.
I appreciate that. That's special to me. So thank you. I like tucking those positive things away.
Yeah. No, if you ever need it, I'll pump you up. Just let me know. I'll send you all kinds of good texts.
I appreciate it.
Well, I really appreciate you coming out, spending some time. I feel like we had a fun conversation.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
You had mentioned goals earlier.
Yeah.
So what are the 2024 goals for you?
So 2 big holes in my game. We talked about cringeworthy moments that I find on video, and I've watched some of my video back, a lot of my video back. Two things that I have to get better at if I want to do anything different in this game. And I say that as somebody who really feels like I've plateaued recently. You know, like I feel like I've been at the same level for a while. There's been times where I'm questioning, am I even going backwards? And so I've analyzed a lot of my film and my play and said, if I want things to be different, I've got to play different. One goal is no wasted drops. Okay. And I say that because I when my drops are on, they're pretty good. But I tend to watch my beautiful drop go into the kitchen, and I just hang back on the baseline. not helpful. I've just wasted a drop.
Yeah. Yep.
Like get my butt to the kitchen. So that is one goal, is no wasted drops. I need to get up to that kitchen line. And then a second goal is just being more aggressive. Even last night at Chestnut Forks, and I'm like, I am swinging because I am tired of being the same player. Like I want to up the ante. When somebody looks at my name on a roster of a tournament, they're not scared. And I would like to change that a little bit. I want people to be scared. Yeah. Or at least just be, you know, second guessing themselves. You know, nobody comes out and says, oh, I'm going to play Christie Barker. She's going to reset everything. So we're, you know, no, we're going to make it so we need to be a little bit scarier. So I want to get more aggressive. So those would be my two biggest things that I want to change in my game.
I like it.
Yeah. What about you? What are your goals?
So
what are we doing?
I played 2 tournaments last year.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah,
it wasn't more.
No, it wasn't a lot. It was kind of one of those lull years for me. So playing more tournaments. I've already signed up for 3.
Awesome.
Yeah, just signed up for the Virginia Beach PPA this morning.
Okay.
So that should be fun.
Cool.
Anything you want to talk about? Any questions?
No questions.
Okay.
I've loved the Pickle Pulse podcast. I've loved the previous guest. I can't wait to see who else you bring on here.
Nice.
I got some people I got some ideas.
Good.
So I'll share those with you.
I'm very open to ideas.
Yeah, I got
Matter of fact, everybody out there, if you've made it this deep in the pod, send me your ideas.
Yeah.
Send me your friends who are interesting.
I got some people.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I'll link you up.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Well, with that being said, I appreciate you sticking with us. It's Brian Green and Christie Barker. Peace.